Wait, oh my god, is this the floaters?
Nah, that shit stay on vibe. That shit stay on vibrate.
So
Say
you
less.
go by G.
G J E E D G J E E D.
How'd you get that name?
I mean, that's my name for real, for real. My full name is Majid, but I just, G for short. So, it's easy because, like, most of my life, people just been pronouncing my name wrong. So I just be trying to make it easy for people. You feel me? So I just tell people, just call me G. You know what I'm saying? Just call me G. So that's what we do. So, we here floating with the floaters today. We is here floating with the floaters. So.
What keeps you floating?
Shit, man. A bunch of things, really. But just being motivated to always do better, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that sense, always being motivated to do better and just always trying to do better than I did the day before literally just keeps me floating through life. You feel me? So I always just be trying to, like, use that as motivation to get up every day. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, a lot of us here really trying to change the trajectory of, like, our family. You feel me? So we really the first of the first of the first. Like, a lot of us are the first to, like, go to college, the first to really touch a bag, the first to really do a lot of things. So it's like, that's what really, like, motivate me and what really keep me floating. On top of, like, the obvious, that keep me floating too, for real. So it be a bunch of stuff. That's what I feel like, that's more than enough, because, like, when you seen a certain amount of things in your life and you just see how, like, bad it can get, or just, like, whatever, you try to, like, do everything you can to make sure that you don't slip and you don't fall. I mean, but you gonna fall, but it's all about, like, getting back up, for real. So that's literally what keeps me floating through life every single day. Every single day, for real, for real. So that's essentially, like, what led me to, creating things like Poorich, just doing my own art. I ain't never really liked school like that, for real. So by the time I graduated high school, I didn't really want to go to college, but I tried community college, and then I dropped out after 3 weeks. So, long story short, after that, you just in and out of jobs, just trying to, like, find any way to just keep some type of financial, like, stability going. And then, like, you just make a choice whether to, like, try to, like, make your own money or just, like, work for somebody else solely. You get what I'm saying? Or do both. Just become a hybrid for sure. So.
Was that an easy choice?
I mean, kinda, cause all my life I always, like, thought that I was, like, different. I mean, I stood out, but back then, like, it translated to me as me just being weird. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't really like everybody. I wasn't really like my friends. So over time, it's just like I always just thought that I was supposed to be doing something, or I was going to end up doing something different than the norm, because I don't really feel like I fit anywhere normally, for real. So by the time it got to that point where, niggas like 18, 19, for real, you really got to make those decisions in real time. It wasn't that hard, for real, for real. Like, I always wanted to graphic design when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? I had homies like Cam, for real, who already back then was on Photoshop. You get what I'm saying? Doing little overlays on top of his skin and real photos. Shit like that is what interested me earlier. You feel me? And then as time went on, it led me to wanting to actually start making art in a digital way, that being my canvas, for real. And then, I dropped out. The job market wasn't really working. I'm skipping job to job to job to job. Then me and my boy Ant decided to do the first clothing line, which was Wasted Youth. We did that for a few years. And then, over time, I just decided to do my own thing. So around, like, 2016, 2017, certain situations in my life just led me to, like, just being in the house, to where as though it's just me and my computer, for real, bro. Like, that's all it ever was from the beginning. That's all it's like. That's what it is now. That's how I got here. You feel me? Me and my computer.
You feel liberated, like, by, like, your tools that you know how to use, like?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's liberation in having a skill. That's one of the things I be trying to get through to like anybody that may not understand the validity of that statement. I feel like having a skill um, pushes you closer to feeling liberated because you feel like you can actually do something with your hands and you can create something or some result is going to happen because of something that you know that comes from your brain that transfers through your body. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's something mechanical, whether you drawing, anything, any type of skill. You get what I'm saying? Like that's why having a skill is numero uno. You get what I'm saying? That shit is like top priority. If you don't have a skill, like I feel like you're gonna be lost. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have a skill, and that's why like I'm glad that I've been crafting this skill of digital design for like 10 years. You know, so ever since I was like 19, really been like going crazy, just like self-taught. Didn't really go to college for it. Like I told you, I dropped out after 3 weeks. So I just always knew. Like I used to like fight my mother about it a little bit, just like going from job to job to job, like quitting without really having another job set up. I would do shit like that just so I had time to like be in the house to learn how to design, because I don't have a course that I'm signed up for to do it. So I got to do this shit on my own time. I have to find out before I get too old and I'm 30, 35, 40 and I still don't have a skill. No, you got to do that shit now while you got the energy. You get what I'm saying? So 2017, I made that choice to create Poorich. It's like a dime dropped in my head because I was trying to figure out a new entity to create. And that's when Poorich came about. You know what I'm saying? That's what Poorich is. It's really like, it's just an entity. You know what I'm saying? An entity is like a representation of ideals that people either follow or debate about or just disagree with. The government, society, those are entities that they're all around us, but you don't really see them. But they're here. That's kind of what like Poorich is for real. You get what I'm saying? It's the entity that represents the idea that the middle class is an illusion. You get what I'm saying? Like the middle class is an illusion that promotes the idea that there is this middle space between the people that have the most resources versus the least. And within that illusion creates certain types of separations between people in society themselves. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not really a statistic guy all the way, but you can check like incomes per capita. 100K over there doesn't have the same validity as 100K per year 1,000 miles away. So in an objective sense, what is the validity of 100K? It's a lot of money, obviously, but I mean, in certain places, Silicon Valley, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, I've talked to people, and they're still living below, they're still struggling pretty much. And my whole point with that is people just have to understand that it is just us and them. You just have a poor or rich, and it's not just like no one wants to go around looking in the mirror and calling themselves poor, right? I understand that. That's why like it's easy to go with this illusion that, you know, I'm in the middle class, I'm in the upper middle class, I'm in the lower middle class. But at the end of the day, there is no middle in between having the most and having the least. They, as in whoever the government powers that be, whatever you want to think they are, they, at the end of the day in America, a lot of the resources have been hoarded and they over here with it, while the rest of the people, you know, got the crumbs for real. It's an uneven distribution of wealth going on all around. It's been going on since we've been alive. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even been on this earth 30 years, and this shit's been going on way longer than I've been even a concept or an idea myself. And now I'm trying to create an idea about something that was here way before I was even a thought. That's why, like, I just be, like, all my life, see, I grew up in Park Heights for real, so it's like, I actually saw, like, the difference between, like, Park Heights and Jewtown and then Northern Parkway. Just visually seeing the difference over time also was what led to the underlining reason or power of how I even came up with Poorich in the first place, for real, for real. So, yeah, I try to speak all of this through clothing design or just make fire designs that people gravitate towards to, just so I can start conversation with them people. You get what I'm saying? Just so they could take that conversation home and talk about it with their friends. They could really talk about it with they kids, they brother, they homie, whoever. Like, people that really tap in and understand what I'm talking about, like, they really be like, damn, bro, that shit really tough. Like, this is some real shit for real. Like, I'm really not trying to preach nothing, like, that's not real. Like, this is facts. Like, they've been saying the middle class has been dissolving since the 70s. There's so many different statistics that all regurgitate the same concept that I'm saying for real.
Yeah.
Which is that it doesn't exist.
Yeah. You know, you're not even really going left at all. You really saying common sense type thing.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like when I really like break it down, it's very common sense. Like, that's why everybody that actually sits and listens to me and what I'm saying, they be like, that's real, because they've already thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already probably said in regular conversation, you probably already said the two words poor and rich in the same sentence. You probably said something along the lines of the middle class doesn't exist. Like, a lot of us are in this perceived middle, you know, class that's, it's not really there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even call it a ghost because, like, I believe in ghosts, and ghosts are real to a degree. So it's like the middle class is simply just like a non-existent entity that's made up that they do to just like create confusion and separation within people, so we don't actually understand or really come together and really see the real problems, or just focalize all the conversation on the real problems of society that led us to why certain societies are or communities thrive like this and why other communities don't. I want people to really question the middle class and then question all classes. I mean, just question capitalist society in general if you want. I mean, it's a lot of benefits that we could talk about. I see it all the time. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't benefit from certain things in a capitalist society, sure. But in order for there to be a up, there has to be a down. You know what I'm saying? So in order for somebody to be up, somebody has to be down in order to compare it to. Because if there's nothing to compare it to, it's just, there is no up. But in a capitalist society, everybody can't be on the same level, because that's not what a capitalist society defines as its true meaning. You get what I'm saying? Somebody has to have more than somebody else in order for this to work. A stock that goes up means another stock went down. Somebody got to take the fall. Somebody got to take the pain, because we are another society that follows a hierarchical structure that divides people via class. And then under that, they still unjustly distribute resources to classes that they feel want to thrive over others for many different reasons. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like banks get most of their bread from debt that's collected through student loans and mortgage and the real estate company. So it's like they want to keep you. They have to keep us in debt to a certain degree to keep certain other communities and people in this society floating, afloat. You get what I'm saying? Really above water. That's why, like, I'm glad I'm here, because, like, we the real floaters. You get what I'm saying? Like, we really trying to really get y'all to really understand what's really going on out here, bro. For real.
What you're holding?
Right here? Oh, yeah, I've been playing with these the whole time. These are air fresheners. You know what I'm saying? I have two flavors right now. This is Mayflower right here, and this is lemon. I have 5 flavors total, but these are just air fresheners that you could put in the car. I mean, you feel me? Some people put them in their room. Some people just bust them open and just have them wherever. I mean, they smell good for a long time. So this is just an idea I had as a promotional tactic for some T-shirts that I was coming out with. I think like last year or 2 years ago, something like that. And I mean, I thought it was a cool idea. Like, I thought it was a cool idea, for real. So if you want to really know, like, in problem solving, you have to identify a problem and find a solution. So it's like seeing as though like my boy over here, Gino, already got something like Leaf Guards, which is his own frontal leaf company. I look at that and I break that all the way down, and I see somebody that goes into a gas station identifies a problem, which is there's no really good quality, long-lasting natural tobacco leaves in here, and they're all sprayed on with flavors that you're not supposed to be inhaling. So I'm gonna go over here and just make my own. I kind of followed the same model with coming up with the air fresheners for real. I look in the gas station and there's only one company, and nobody really knows about them. So I feel like it's a clear lane for me to try to either monopolize or just like come up in and just like put some more colorful, better design air fresheners in your car with like more exotic flavors for real. So, and it's a good like business card. These are my business cards too. See, got the QR code on the back and all that. So everybody be like, you got a business card? I just give them an air freshener. It's perfect.
What are some of the challenges you ran through, like starting Poorich or outsourcing, or just trying to bring your ideas to light?
The normal challenges that you're gonna face when you try to start your own entity in a society that doesn't primarily promote that you do that, especially from the communities that I come from or that we come from. You get what I'm saying? So like, yeah, when it came to like outsourcing, just figuring out the game, it's a lot of problems because like a lot of this information was not given to us as a collective. So it's like we don't really know. I ain't really know shit. And I'm just coming out of high school. Like I'm all in my head about some whole other, you feel me? So I don't really know nothing. So I had to wing it. So yeah, designs, learning how to design, outsourcing, you feel me, getting burnt by certain manufacturers, like getting scammed, all that, like, yeah, for sure. Like that was initial problems. And then you start figuring that out, and then you have your own problems financially with your relationship with money, whether or not like you always have a spending problem, you don't do good with saving, you get what I'm saying? Like just not taking care of your books, having all your things on paper. You know, all that's an acquired taste when you come from where we come from, trying to create a business, clothing line, whatever have you. You get what I'm saying? It's going to take time, and you got to just like see it through and not be so hard on yourself, because like we wasn't given this opportunity a long time ago. We not trust fund babies. You get what I'm saying? We don't got an account that's going to hit with 50K as soon as we turn 18 that's just waiting for us. We don't got no CEO, Fortune 500 mommies and daddies, you get what I'm saying? Maybe some of us do, but not most. So you gotta really learn that shit. You gotta get your knees dirty. That's really the only way. Like you can't take no shortcuts, so you gonna get cut short. So it's gonna be tough and it's gonna hurt a little, but you be alright. This shit really like build character for real at the end of the day. I'll take this over anything else.
Where do you think you got your style from?
My style, like, it's funny because I tell people, like, it's funny that I choose to like, how should I say, push my idea through clothing, because I never had a fashion sense, bro. Like, I was never cool. I never had the flyest kicks. I never knew about Jordans. You get what I'm saying? Like I probably had like a Sean John, especially back then. You get what I'm saying? Like never had no Fila, never had no Averite, never had really none of that shit. I had Skechers and shit, bro. Like I was on my nerd shit. I was playing video games. A lot of my style came from the aesthetic of like video games and just how they laid out the graphics on that, from down to the book manuals, down to just all that, just like graphic design wise, that of the video game sense. And then I mean, of course, like shout out to my peoples and everything, definitely was bumping all the music and all that ever since a young kid too, you get what I'm saying? So, you know, always got the good musical background too, so you mix in the aesthetics from video games and the same aesthetics that we're now always going back to, pulling from, to retro that people are doing, mix that in with the, you know, the black culture of the music and everything. That's kind of like where I got my sense from, and it just came over time. Like I'm good with I see colors and hear sounds. So it's like over time, once I just like get more in tune with the type of style, as in like pants and shirts and everything, like I can color coordinate all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like my shoes match my glasses, match my hoodie for a reason. So for sure, definitely.
What type of artists are you influenced by, like, with the music?
Shit, my favorite rapper Wayne, for sure. My favorite rapper is definitely Lil Wayne. Always gonna be, always will. I love a plethora of rappers. You get what I'm saying? Like all the way back to like Raekwon and all them, like Big, Pac, all them niggas. You get what I'm saying? Like later on in life, went back and like bumped Big L some more. Like fuck with a lot of people for real. But like Wayne definitely like was my favorite rapper. I remember my man's Chris showing me Demolition Freestyle 1 for the first time. We was on the light rail, shit like that. Like Wayne was just so captivating in how he crafted your metaphors for real. And yo was mad young too. First rapper to say I'm the best rapper alive. Gave me mad confidence that like I didn't have, that I lacked at home. You get what I'm saying? Just through how yo was rapping, cause yo told everybody he was that nigga, and niggas believed yo objectively. Like niggas like, damn, this opinion so real. It's like a fact. That shit crazy. I fuck with that. So like niggas like yo for sure. And I bumped a lot of other people. You feel me? I bumped Jeezy. I bumped Gucci. I bump everybody. But I always gravitated towards Wayne back then. You get what I'm saying? Jay-Z was always hard as a bitch too. He hard as hell too. But Wayne that's just who I was messing with a little more, for sure. Big tune.
Can you touch on this? So it's like you saying you wasn't the coolest growing up.
Not by far.
You ain't had the confidence at home.
Mm-mm.
Like, you know, you seen the Kanye documentary where it's
Mhm.
just like beat it in him, like
Mhm.
be confident.
Mhm.
So I understand
Mhm.
like what you mean by that.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
So then, but meeting you now, I just met you outside the front. I
Mhm.
can't tell none of that. You know what I'm saying? You got your orb.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was that journey like? I know that journey was crazy to get there.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy because like being a human is very interesting. You get what I'm saying? Like when you feel like you're there's still remnants of things, like because past, present, and future all happen at the same time. It's not as linear as you may like visualize it in your head. It's more like a circle. You feel me? Circles are infinite, so time is so like over time. It's funny because like people now will say like, yo, I can't tell that you don't got no confidence, or you come from that woody whoop, and I'm like, bro, it was tough, bro, and I'm still there a little bit, but this is the best that I've ever been, just because like, you know, after a while you got to take control of your own life. So it's like that's the hardest part of the journey, is really like choosing to like really take control of your own life and not subject yourself to victimhood, right? Because it's like really understanding where we come from and understanding your personal life growing up, your family, who raised you, who they are, what they could have done or not did that could have contributed to how you felt about yourself as a person growing up under their households. You get what I'm saying? And then going out, how you feel about yourself in society with friends. You feel me? Like all that is a built up thing, especially as like a black man or a black woman. It's just like we're not given those avenues to really just fully just express how you feel without any ridicule. You get what I'm saying? Like mental health wasn't even taken as serious as it's ever been. So it's like the journey has been hard for sure. And that's not to say like niggas depressed or anything, but just saying like it'd be a lot going on in a little black boy or a little black girl head that like, you know, 90s, 80s, if it didn't fit the mold of what your overseer thought was an actual problem objectively, it wasn't taken that serious for real. So it's like, yeah, you at this time, like a lot of us, we had no choice but to really take it back, take our life back. You snap into it probably in your 20s, 25, 26 maybe. You get what I'm saying? Like it take a little second if you ain't really snapped into it earlier. Your head you be so headstrong, you whoopty whoop, trauma stricken, all that, until one day something really happened and shit just start clicking more for real, you feel me? So doing the work is always hard, but it be worth it though. Like it be worth it, bro. Like I've worked over 10 warehouse jobs, bro. Like I've worked with mad people who was just like working depressed, doing so many things 10, 15 plus years with no end in sight. They just working until they retire with no, you can see it in how they walk. You don't want to be like that. So it's hard, it's difficult, but it is worth it. That's all I got to say about that. So, and I'm still here. Like I ain't resolved everything, my nigga. Like every day is a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like every day is a struggle. You may not even see it on the nigga face, but it's like it be a lot. But when you make a conscious effort to work towards it and just do what fulfills you, it makes it better, because that's the name of the game in this life, is fulfillment. Like you have to do what fulfills you. If you somewhere that doesn't fulfill you, you gotta go, bro. Job, whatever, you gotta go. You gotta find something. You got to find a way to dip about that motherfucker and do something that fulfills you. Or you gonna be old and in pain. You not trying to be. You want your life set up by the time your bones start hurting. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be out here trying to still catch a Uber to some clock in when you 50. Like, bro, nah. Real shit. So it all starts with self. That's why you gotta get yourself right first in order for that to happen. If you don't get yourself right, I'm learning that as much as I'm telling you, I'm telling that to myself at the same time, for real. Like we all in this together, you feel me? Like no man is above another. I ain't above nobody. Even if I'm taller than you, I'm still not above you. You know what I'm saying? Like we still on the same level type shit. So, yeah.
So what can they look for next, or what do you want to promote? What do you want to put out in the universe next?
Just more consistency and more fire art, like the art you see behind me. Like just putting out more visuals that really just like have people thought provoking. Like I really like, I'm just back in the lab now, just really, you know, about to cop a new device and all that, just trying to get better just with the art, bro. So it's like I'm already working on my next drop. As you can see right here, I just dropped this. This was my stack sweatsuit for Halloween. I just dropped that. So they went good. I still got them. They still available on the website, Poorich USA. I'm already working on my next drop right now. I'm just talking to my manufacturer because I'm putting them at the test. Like we in the process of like sourcing fabrics and shit for this next piece I'm trying to drop. Like, cause the first test run they did, they wasn't able to, it was something wrong with the sublimation, you get what I'm saying? Like it burnt the fabric, so we really trying to we going around shit trying to figure out what fabrics can take, you know, the heat. Cause I'm really trying to put some crazy graphics on that motherfucker for sure. I already got it cooked up and everything, I already did it. So that's what I really got next. Next year, probably drop. If it go good, I could drop it in January, probably before my birthday, on the 29th. And then I got a whole campaign for spring. I ain't even gonna tell you yet, but I got a whole campaign for spring coming. Like, it's gonna be crazy, for sure. Spring, we popping out wild, I'm trying to tell you. Working at this shit for too long, dummy. No cap. No cap. It ain't no stopping now, for sure. Shout out to the floaters, man. I'm floating with the floaters today, bro. I told you. I'm floating with the floaters today. That's my tagline every time I come up this bitch, nigga. For real.
That's it, you know.
We done.
Anything you want to add to my closing?
As my liaison today, my boy K1 asked me, you feel me?
It's dope that y'all came together, 'cause, you know, y'all individually, y'all both are people that are doing y'all thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a guy, you feel me? I respect the utmost from the community. Trying to tell you the shit I'm trying to do aligns with what he's trying to do. These next 5-10 gonna look crazy, boy, I tell you.
I'm gonna get one, give me 20 seconds.
Telling you. It's gonna come, bro.
About Paul Kaiser.
Yeah, I dropped that in there. Park Heights, baby. Right there up top too. I remember the little Mystic house right there in the corner of Plymouth and Park Heights, right by the 7-Eleven and shit. Park Heights is a mystical place.
And this pandemic doing what it did. How do you see your brand being a part of what can spark initial conversation between people. Because as you can see, like a lot of people are not only into social distancing, but a lot more introverted than they used to be.
Yeah.
So how do you see yourself as part of the people who are able to use your brand to bring people back out of themselves and like realize that we're not really that much different? Because like you said, middle class does not exist. There's only a dimension of the poor that makes that like everyone else in between isn't as different as they would like themselves to be.
Right. Right. Right.
Where do you see
It's.
yourself in that?
I feel like at first it's all about understanding how the quality of life has changed because of things like COVID and the pandemic. So it's like seeing how people more so like integrated into the house, work from home type lifestyle, woody whoop. I'm just always trying to figure out what can I utilize in the household and like brand it to where as though I can bring that content to you even though you're still at home. You feel me? So it's like there's certain ideas I even have now with like infographics that I really try to like just mix the information side of the brand I'm trying to spill out, mix that with the art, because art is going to change the world. It changes the world constantly. So whether we in the house or where we at, we all may feel not connected to the original source of what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to tell you, bro, like, you already know, man. It's been people that have been coming up to my pop-up shop that don't look like us at all. Not in our age group at all, bro. What's that? You get what I'm saying? Like, really talking to old, like, anybody that would never talk to me any other time that really be feeling the message, bro. That be confirmation that's like, yo, I know if I just do my part and just, like, branding myself right, I'm gonna be right. Like, there's a coffee pot in everybody's house. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's something in there's an entity in everybody's house that came from a business that marketed themselves correctly to get everybody to feel like I need this in my life. I'm gonna do the same shit with Poor Rich. Seriously, because it represents an ideal that you're either going to agree with or disagree with. But at the end of the day, it's going to spark conversation. You feel me? So it's like, as long as I just get better at figuring out how to initially spark that within people, coloring books, card, whatever, you name it. You get what I'm saying? Like clothes, it don't stop at the clothes. This is why I'm doing air fresheners. This is why I'm doing so many different things. So I'm just steady trying to figure it out, okay? For sure. That was a great question, bro. Definitely. And that's part of the everyday struggle. Like, how can I make this a household name that name holds in the house? You feel me? Like, how can I really get this name to hold in somebody's house like that of a coffee pot, something that's a necessity, that you feel like it's a necessity? Because you don't need coffee, but you want it. So that's where we at with it.
This last question.
What's up?
What's gonna make you rich?
What's gonna make me rich?
The fact that he was poor.
The fact that I was poor, yeah, for sure that. But I'm already rich. You know what I'm saying? Like my ideas make me rich. The fact that like in my soul, I'm at a point where now like I just love what I'm doing. Like I'm starting to really like love myself more than I've ever been. I'm starting to really get on that journey, on that path more of like self, mastery any way I can. You get what I'm saying? Like really, and I'm not perfect by any means. Like there's so many things that I'm realizing about myself every single day, whether it comes with like interactions with people, my outlook on love, my situations with women. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm always constantly just looking at it, just figuring out, how I can be better. And the fact that I'm on that ladder, the boy already rich, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm already rich. The only thing you could give me is more money in my pocket. But I'm already rich, though. Like, that's the ironic thing about poor, rich. Like, the more you tap in, you're gonna really, like, you're gonna see what I'm talking about, bro, for sure. Definitely.
That's a wrap on this part.
Wait, oh my god, is this the floaters?